you want to hear some music? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Well, today you're going to get all the music you want.
The request lines are now open. KGFJ Soul Radio.
Do it now, man.
Request lines are up.
It's open, man.
Got any Blue Oyster Cult?
No, I don't have any Blue Oyster Cult. I ate 34 pairs last time around. Where were you? I was that close to working at 7-Eleven, you know.
Pass the word along. Tell the men it's time to shoot the moon.
Shoot the moon!
Out there on the microphone. On the microphone.
Shoot the moon. Shoot the moon.
The attitude dictates that you don't care whether she comes, stays, lays, or prays. I mean, whatever happens, your toes are still tapping.
Hey, Strawberry! Oh, Strawberry. Hey, what's happening, man? How you doing? This is my friend.
Hey, how you doing, man?
What you looking at, man?
Oh, nothing. I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking at his neck, man.
Can you honestly tell me that you forgot the magnetism of Robin Zander or the charisma of Rick Nielsen?
That's kid stuff.
Kid stuff. Well, how about the tunes? I want you to want me. The Dream Police. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Build your muscles picking strawberries. You know, Band and Scoop. Maybe I could get you a job with United Fruit. I got a buddy with United Fruit. Start with strawberries, you might work your way up to these goddamn bananas. When, boy, are you gonna get your act together?
We're creating a society of cell phone crazed, marijuana smoking zombies.
Coming to you not quite live from Lukewarm Tallboy Studios deep in the land of Gar, this is Bend and Scoop, the podcast featuring music, mirth, and minutia, focused on exposing artists you probably haven't heard, but should. I'm Bob, and I'll be your tour guide on this amazingly asymmetric auditory adventure as we journey to the center of your cochlea. Welcome to episode 26, which is also the number of shows Morrissey canceled at the last second on his most recent tour, give or take. Joining us at the end of the show for our Groovin' After Party will be our very special guests, Chris and Amanda Jones from the That's Nice Who Cares podcast, sharing their own personal musical journeys with a round of Is That Your Vinyl Answer? We spread the gospel of vinyl here at Bend and Scoop, so be sure to tell us all about your favorite neighborhood record store by posting to @BenScoop on Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag SpinMomAndPop. Our record store of the week is Antone's Record Shop in Austin, which I paid a visit to on my recent trip down there. You can follow them on Twitter at Antone's Records and on both Instagram and Facebook at Antone's Record Shop, or you can check out their website at antonsrecordshop.com. Kicking things off is something brand new from Wakefield, England's The Cribs, off their latest album, Night Network. This is Running Into You on Bend and Scoop.
I'll stay with you even when the body's gone. When I'm loose enough to let 'em out, I'm right back there in your old house. Find me on the balcony, the new owners top down, watching you in my memory, waiting for me to come back around. They're always running, they're always
reaction.
This is where it's happening.
It's cool and swinging and like that. This is where it's at. Ooh, Radio Fort Worth KFJC.
Debbie, take control of the stereo. 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 Debbie's got the play the pop songs. 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 She's in control and she won't let go. She's got the music on the stereo. She's got the power to make you blue. You'll be up all night to the summertime blues. Turn it up and you don't really need it. Turn it up until you can feel it. Turn it up and you don't really need it. Turn it up until you can feel it. Debbie, take control of the stereo. Debbie, take control of the stereo. Debbie, take control of the stereo. Debbie's got the play the pop songs. 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 She take control and she won't let go. She's got the music on the stereo. She's got the power to make you move. You'll be up all night to the summertime blues. Debbie, take control of the stereo. Debbie, take control of the stereo. Debbie, take control of the stereo. Debbie's got the play the pop songs. Debbie's got the play the pop songs. Debbie's got the play the pop songs. Bring the sunshine in with pop and pop. Bring the sunshine in with pop and pop. Bring the sunshine in with pop and pop. Pop and pop, pop and pop. Bring the sunshine in with pop and pop. Bring the sunshine in with pop and pop. Bring the sunshine in with pop and pop. Pop and pop, pop and pop. Debbie, take control of the stereo. Debbie, take control of the stereo. Debbie, take control of the stereo.
From 2020's Power On, that's Helen Love from Cardiff, Wales with Debbie, Take Control of the Stereo. If you want to take control of the microphone, you can host an episode of my podcast, Assume the Juxtaposition, simply by emailing your topic idea to lukewarmtallboy@gmail.com. You can follow Assume the Juxtaposition on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at AssumeTJPod. Now that we've officially entered the holiday season, having just stuffed ourselves on Thanksgiving, what better time than now to play this next song by the Chefs, all about the most important thing this side of peace on earth and goodwill to man. Here's Food on Bend and Scoop.
Bimbo, sausage, peas and beans, spaghetti, rice and tangerines, donkey, custard, crust, french fries, these are foods I idolize. Food we eat to keep us going, food we eat to make us strong. In our bellies we are snowing, sing all day long. Pie sauce, stock cubes and a flour, soup was boiling hour by hour. Carrots, leeks and broccoli, all these things appeal to me. Food we eat to keep us going,
I'm Jerry Mitchell. I'm with the school paper, the Titan. I know this is a little weird, me asking who you are standing side by side in front of the urinals. What I'm trying to find out is, you are Buddy Revell, right?
You a narc?
No, I'm with the school paper.
What do you want, man? I just got to this school.
I don't want anything. That is all. All I want to do is talk to you, see? See, they told me to write this stupid little piece about you because you're the new kid on campus.
You're gonna do a stupid little piece on me. Why would I want to look stupid?
No. You're not going to look stupid. Not at all. And incidentally, just so you know, I don't care if you do all kinds of dope and shit. I'm not anybody's narc, you know? Well, not that I think that you do dope or anything like that. I mean, listen, why don't we forget this whole thing and pretend this never happened, okay?
I want you to understand something, Jerry. I don't like it when people know about me. In fact, I don't like it when anybody knows about me. So you can take that newspaper of yours and wipe off your dick with it.
Behind a dream disguise, and sadly hypnotized, as if misunderstood. I didn't hear the call of passing trains and stopping cars, of broken trees and trickle down the quiet woods from cold cement and scattered sun through trestles hole. I feel alone inside my mind, along the trusted wood, where all the world is yours and mine to take. 100,000 pounds, still no one makes a sound. We never thought to laugh until we saw the words of passing trains and stopping cars, of broken trees and trickle down the quiet woods from cold cement and scattered sun through trestles hole. I feel alone inside my mind, along the trusted wood, where all the world is yours and mine to take. Sun through trestles hole. I feel alone inside my mind, along the trusted wood, where all the world is yours and mine to take.
That's The Reverbs with Trusted Woods, off the great new compilation Strum and Thrum, The American Jangle Underground, 1983 to 1987. Another podcast I'm part of is called Campfire Songs, where I get together with my buddies Tom, Jim, and Todd to share and discuss 3 songs each. Follow us on Twitter at Songs Campfire and give us a listen on Apple Podcasts. We're joined in our latest episode by the author of the new book, Jittery White Guy Music, Mark Fagel. Speaking of songs, remember to be sure and check out our Bend and Scoop Spotify playlist. If we played it, and they have it, you can listen to it there. The Young Fresh Fellows have been around for almost 40 years now, but their brand new album, Toxic Youth, proves they show no signs of slowing. Here's Never Had It Bad on Bend and Scoop.
The blue jays in the backyard are living fast and hard. I'm cradling a cup of tea and loading the washing machine. So if I ever go astray, well, we all lose it anyway. So all I ask is don't be sad, 'cause I never had it bad. Just take my hand and don't go mad, just because I never had it bad. Whoa, 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 whoa. You say I'm good at good times. Well, good times are pretty good, and I am thankful every day. It's time you understood that I have feelings too, it's true, just not so many as you. So all I ask is don't be sad, because I never had it bad. Just take my hand and don't go mad, just because I never had it bad. Whoa, 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 whoa. When the future's falling like ashes all around, you'll see a million others that never left the ground. Some forgive and some forget. I'm sure I'll get mine yet. But until then, now don't be sad, because I never had it bad. Just take my hand and don't be mad, just because I never had it bad. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, all I ask is don't be sad, because I never had it bad. Just take my hand and don't be mad, just because I never had it bad.
At night, while the Southland slumbers, have you ever flitted along the flightful fringes of fantasy? Yes, you, with the power of untamed freedom at your fingertips, unharnessed thrust, and every horizon within your reach. Yes, in the deep recesses of your boss imagination, picture yourself at the wheel of the in-car, a 1965 Mustang GT. Wish no more, ladies and gentlemen. Win the Boss Mustang GT from 93 KHJ. Post a card with your name, address, and phone number to Magic Key, KHJ, Box 38, 130 Hollywood. Then waft away in the mists of nocturnal assurance that you might well be the winner of the KHJ Boss Mustang GT. Pleasant dreams.
I had a friend named Oscar Automobile. Bones of milk white, he walks on winged heels. Shadow bent like a pagan, he sits at the end of my bed, reading law from Thomas More, rotates his head. beneath the wide brim hat. He'll visit the wax museum and laundromat. Shadow bent like a pagan, he sits at the end of my bed, reading law from Thomas More, rotates his head.
All the way back in 1979 when I was still in 8th grade. That's Oscar Automobile by a band called Weird Strings. One of the other podcasts I'm part of is called Plausible Deniability, which I co-host with my good friend David Miller. You can follow Plausible Deniability on Twitter and Instagram, both at Pause Deny, and listen on Spotify, Apple, or most other podcast platforms, with new episodes posted the first day of every month. Our next episode's available on December 1st, and it's a discussion about the effort to save Texas' legendary honky-tonks and dance halls. So check it out, and please consider donating to that worthy cause. Don't forget, if you enjoy listening to what we do here on Bend and Scoop, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review us at Apple Podcasts. Longtime guitarist of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Mike Campbell, has been keeping himself busy since Petty's tragic passing, first as a touring member of Fleetwood Mac, and now fronting his own band called the Dirty Knobs, whose new album, Reckless Abandon, features this track that's a strong contender for the official theme song of the past 4 years. Here's Fuck That Guy on Bend and Scoop.
That clown dressed up like Charles Dickens, sneaking around like Slim Pickens. If he was a woman, he'd think he was God's gift to man. Called her stick his head a garbage can. Oh, fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck that guy. Ooh, it ought to be a crime. He ain't no friend of mine. Fuck that guy. That heartless fool lurking around the high school. Somebody better call the cops. He ought to be arrested. Ain't nobody around here gonna get molested. No, fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, it ought to be a crime. He ain't no friend of mine. Fuck that guy. Yeah, look at that jerk-off jerk. He's a real piece of work. Rolling and smoking cheap tobacco. He ain't nothing but a loudmouth wacko. Fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck that guy. It ought to be a crime. He ain't no friend of mine. Fuck that guy. Yeah, it ought to be a crime. He ain't no friend of mine. Fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck that guy. What an asshole. Fuck that guy.
Jerry, did you actually read a book?
Fine, book. Honey Goes to Hollywood. It's a good read. Fast, angry, sexual. In fact, I gotta tell you, it kind of made me think of you, Miss Farmer. There I was, in bed, reading my book. Honey's adventures gripping my imagination. I just knew I had to tell you about a book that was this good. Hey, Mama.
Jerry, I hope this is going somewhere.
It's going somewhere. What's your favorite book, Miss Farmer?
What's the difference?
It's important to me.
Turn of the screw.
What a coincidence.
Now that's what I call a book report.
something my buddy Adam Edelman wishes he had back when he was a contestant on Wheel of Fortune, One More Letter by the Daggermen. The first podcast I was ever a part of is still going strong today, called How Many, where my buddies Jesse, Junior, Gary, and Scott discuss and debate a variety of pop culture topics, including movies, sports, TV, music, and more. You can follow that podcast on Twitter at HowManyPodcast, or go straight to our website to listen at howmanypodcast.com. Don't forget to stick around for the end of the show, when we'll be joined in the Groovin' After Party by our special guests Chris and Amanda Jones from the That's Nice Who Cares podcast. Here's a band called The Wasps, who have Something to Tell You on Bend and Scoop.
For the first time, the internationally acclaimed Kiss. Kiss live in concert Friday, February 17th at 8 p.m. in the Saginaw Civic Center. Kiss unmasked with special guest Vandenberg, burning up the Saginaw Civic Center with high-energy rock and roll. All tickets $10 with festival seating on the floor of the Saginaw Civic Center. Reserved seating in the stands. Kiss with special guest Vandenberg Friday, February 17th at 8 p.m. in the Saginaw Civic Center. Tickets on sale now. The Saginaw Civic Center, Rock-A-Rolla, Grapevine, and Lucky's Records. They're going fast.
From their recently released Pylon box, that's Athens, Georgia's Pylon with Weather Radio. Those of you who enjoy getting your edibles on can certainly attest there's really nothing quite like a 3 o'clock high.
I guess I should have known from the beginning. It was gonna be one of those days.
His name is
Jerry Mitchell. Hi, Jerry.
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 Hi, I'm Jerry Mitchell. I'm with the school paper.
He just met the new kid in school.
The guy's the closest thing to Charlie Manson ever seen at Weaver.
Now,
We're gonna have a fight today after school.
he's got 6 hours to get out of it.
It's been quite a morning, Jerry.
You can say that again.
He'll try running.
I wouldn't leave school without a good reason.
He'll try bribery.
If I can get the money, do you think you'd do it for me?
Ravel will never bother you again. Guaranteed.
He'll try robbery.
I hear you're giving Jerry Mitchell a hard time.
Till finally,
The fight is on. You and me in the parking lot, 3 o'clock.
Jerry's got a lot on his mind.
10 seconds.
But he's not thinking about math or English.
5 seconds.
Because at 3 o'clock, he's gonna make history.
There isn't going to be any fight today!
People listen to people. So listen, people.
Welcome to the Groovin' After Party. Come on in and pour yourself a cold one.
Joining me now for our Groovin' After Party here on Bend and Scoop are Chris and Amanda from That's Nice, Who Cares? Great podcast. Welcome to have y'all here.
How y'all doing? Thank you for having us.
Great, great. So tell us a little bit about That's Nice, Who Cares?
Oh boy, where do we begin?
Well, the idea came about when, several of my friends and family noticed that my wife and I don't really have much of a filter. And I was actually at work one day and I was, didn't have a whole lot going on. And I texted my wife, Amanda here, is like, I want to start a podcast. And she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm busy right now. That's fine. We'll talk about it later. And then I did some research and I came home and it said, we're going to start a podcast.
Yeah.
And we did. And I did some research on different names and I came up with a whole bunch of different stuff. But they were either taken or they sounded too similar to other podcasts that are out there. And as we all know that there's tens of thousands of millions and billions of podcasts out there these days. So I was like, you know what? I just remember saying to people, like, when they say things that I'm not really concerned about, I was like, oh, that's nice. Who cares? Like, hey, that sounds like a good idea for a show. So that's where the name came from. And it's a show that we discuss pop culture, politics, current events, food, just,
Marriage,
raising kids, marriage, raising kids, sex, all the above. So we don't have much of a niche specifically, but, things that affect everyday life and our take on it. And if you don't like it, oh, well, that's nice. Who cares?
That's awesome. And it's definitely a memorable name for sure.
Well, thank
so
you.
do you guys put out new episodes weekly, monthly? How often do you normally?
We've been really bad.
We've been really bad. Life has gotten away, and of course, I've been a little main culprit of not being able to put out. We tried to when we first started. We tried to put out one every other week, and we've and right now the backdrop that we had for our show is under construction in our house. So we're
The whole
working,
house is under construction.
we're working on a new place in our home. So, but we've been I've been writing stuff down and some different show ideas and things like that.
Oh,
So
there's lots to talk about.
there's
there is
so
for sure.
We'll definitely have new episodes coming very soon. But until then, you can enjoy the episodes that we do have on Podbean, Wushaka, Spotify, and we even have a YouTube channel for those who may not have podcasts, but we record video versions of our podcast as well that we post, so you can see our wonderful looking faces. If
Yeah,
you're
I would definitely encourage people to check out the YouTube because I'm sure you've heard this before, but you look so much like Matt Damon. It's ridiculous.
No, he does.
I mean that as a compliment. I mean, the dude's a movie star.
I do like it. No. Well, I thought you remember me because my six-pack abs was turned into a keg.
When he was younger, he looked more like
Yeah,
Matt
I was going to say,
Damon.
you look like the younger, not the old fat Matt Damon, but the younger, like Goodwill.
I mean, if I stood up, you'd understand why I look like the old fat man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't see it, but I have heard that. But I've also heard the kid from the Christmas Story. I've heard the
Ralphie?
little kid from Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, Ralphie, yeah.
I've heard that. I've heard the kid from Jerry Maguire. One girl said I look like Mark Wahlberg, but I think she didn't have her actors correct. She probably didn't know who she was talking about.
Only when
but
you're in your
whatever. I
boxers.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Only in
I
your
think-
Calvin Kleins, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, let's learn a little bit about both of your own personal musical journey. And we're going to play around with what we call, is that your vinyl answer? A little tribute to Regis now that he's left us. What was the first record that you both bought, each of you bought? It could have been on vinyl, it could have been CD, whatever it was. What's the first one you remember buying?
Lincoln Park, I think mine was. I think.
You were
I
young.
know it
You
was.
were very young. If Lincoln Park was your first
Yeah,
purchase.
I think mine was Billy Joel's Greatest Hits.
Okay.
Actually.
That's pretty solid. That's solid.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
do you remember where you bought it?
Oh, what was that store that
FYE?
FYE,
FYI or
FYE, that music
FYE.
store.
FYE,
They no longer
yeah.
exist.
No,
I bought
actually,
mine.
actually, it does. They've got one at the mall down the road here. I saw it, and I'm like, wow, I hadn't seen one of those in forever.
Really? Wow.
Oh, that's really cool.
All the ones in our area were gone.
It's
They're like,
kind of
they just-
morphed. It's kind of morphed into almost like a Spencer's. It's more like music and gifts. Like they got posters and T-shirts and little pop figurines and all that kind of stuff in there now. But also records.
Right. I want to say I bought the Billy Joel Greatest Hits. It wasn't Best Buy. It might have been Walmart, actually.
Oh, okay.
wow.
Yeah, way back in the day. I think I was 17 or 18 years old.
Was it on
So-
CD or was it the record?
Yes.
Okay,
It was
CD.
a double disc CD.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that. It opened, either side opened up and the middle stayed connected.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mhm.
Now, do you still have it?
Somewhere. I mean, yeah.
What
I
about your
probably do
Linkin
have it.
Park?
Oh, I still have it. It's in my van. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, which band or artists' albums do you own the most of? Who do you have the biggest collection of?
Oh, wait, I know yours already. You're
Yeah,
terrible. I think mine are a couple. It's Imagine Dragons and Linkin Park.
Okay.
Those are the two.
Okay.
Britney Spears.
Really? Interesting.
Oh, he's terrible. He's terrible. He's terrible.
Yeah. She told we have this agreement, like if our podcast ever becomes super successful, I can have my hall pass to Britney Spears if I let her meet Mark Wahlberg. So
No, it's Leo.
Leo. Okay, I'm
Leo,
sorry,
it
Leonardo
changes,
DiCaprio. It changes. So it's whatever. Yeah. Leo DiCaprio this week.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. Britney Spears. I like it. Now, which album of hers is your favorite, and which Linkin Park or Imagine Dragons album is your favorite, Amanda?
Oh, I'm terrible with remembering this. Oh, Lord.
You love Hybrid Theory for Linkin Park.
Wait a minute. Which one's that?
That's the one with In the End. And
Oh, yeah,
Closer.
I like that one. Yeah.
That's honestly, that's one of my favorite albums of all time of any artist, by the way, of Hybrid Theory of Linkin Park.
What's Imagine Dragons I have?
I don't know.
I'm
Whatever
so
the
bad.
one
I
that
have
had
so bad
Radioactive on it. Was that the one? Where
Yes,
the
that's the
guy's
one.
getting lifted off the ground like he's being
Yes.
sucked into a UFO or something? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm terrible. with memory.
For me, I think my favorite Britney Spears album was probably be Femme Fatale. It's it has a lot of techno and very hard beats and stuff like that. It's one of her mid-career albums. I mean, it wasn't one of her earlier ones, but it wasn't the most recent ones either. I actually like that one, and I think it's actually one of her least successful commercial albums anyway. So, but it's really good. I like it.
Is there any particular album that you've had to replace multiple times that you've bought the most over the years?
Oh yeah, I think I probably bought either Alanis Morissette's "Jagged Little Pill" at least 2 or 3 times, and Nirvana's "Nevermind" I bought probably 3 or 4 times because either they got misplaced, scratched, my sister stole and lost or broke it, various things like that.
Okay, I need assistance when it comes to this again. What is that group when it's I saw the sign?
Ace of Base.
Ace of Base.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Who among your friends and family has the largest collection of vinyl, of actual records that you can think of? Is there anybody that has a lot of those?
Oh, my grandmother did, but she's gone. Granny had a lot. Did you know anybody?
Did she leave those
Well-
to you, Amanda? Did you get to keep those when she passed, or did they go to somebody else?
No, someone else took them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was really young when she passed, but I remember seeing them in her house. Somebody took them.
A long time ago, my mom, who has also since passed, had a very large vinyl, and she had 50s, 60s, 70s albums, like on vinyl from just everybody from back in those days. But I would say I wouldn't be surprised if my aunt has a box of vinyl records in the attic.
She's a hoarder. I think
In the
she
attic
was.
somewhere from. I guarantee you, if she has any vinyl record, it'd be Wham.
Oh, wake me up before you go.
Yeah, she actually went to Germany with friends back in the day and went to the Wham concert in multiple countries. She probably
Wow.
seen
So
George
she was a
Michael.
Wham super fan.
Oh, she was. And like I asked her one time, how did you not know when because I saw the Wake Me Up video in like the hot pink, like spandex shorts. Like, how did you not know? It's like, we weren't thinking about it because that was the 80s and that's how they dressed. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah, it did not really set off the gaydar the way it should have.
Well, I think she was wishful thinking because she had a massive crush when she was in her late teens, early 20s. So
well, he was positioned, and I'm about that same age also. He was really positioned as the ladies' man back in those days. So it was kind of surprising. I mean, looking back on it, you're right. It's like, come on, it seems pretty obvious. But at the time, everybody thought, oh wow, he's just really going after the ladies. But
yeah.
So, now, do either of you currently own any vinyl? Do you have a collection you're building up at all? Or?
Unfortunately, no. But there are albums that because vinyl, I believe, is one of those things that you might at least try to find if you can, if like you're able to afford to buy different records, and even if it's not even a first edition print. That's just collector's item type things, because CDs are going out the window one day because eventually not going to be able to play anymore because MP3 players and iPods or whatever the hell they have nowadays. I don't know. I'm obviously showing my age. There's things that you always would want to have. Like Michael Jackson's Thriller would definitely be an album that I would love to have on vinyl.
Yeah.
Anything from the Beatles, that would definitely be something that you need to have on vinyl. Billy Joel, of course, Johnny Mathis, or one of his Christmas, old classic, eternal musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the newer ones, I'm not even sure if they actually have Britney or Linkin Park or
Probably not.
Some of the 90s alternative. They might, I don't know. I haven't seen them.
Mm-hmm.
I know once upon a time I saw Billy Joel on vinyl in like Best Buy and like the ancient section.
Yeah. Is there any store either now or back in earlier years that you used to go to buy your records, like a local record store, or was it almost always usually like a chain Best Buy, FYE type place?
FYE.
Yeah, it was usually chain because of where I grew up, not far from DC. They didn't really have a lot of mom and pop old school, like at least that I knew of.
Yeah.
Because I went to the mall and they had, the record store there. And I have bought at Spencer's. I bought, I think I bought Stained and, Papa Roach albums there, and places like that. Or FYE, or what was that other? There was another
Sam Goody.
So, yeah, that was it. Something like that. Sam Goody.
Mm-hmm.
Best Buy, and there was, I think he even bought a couple of things at Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
Like some of the, that you can buy records from.
Oh,
so.
right.
Yeah, they still sell them at Barnes & Noble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, is there a way folks can follow you guys on social media, on Twitter, Instagram? What's the best way to keep tabs on y'all?
We definitely have a Twitter. We also have a Facebook that we can try to keep up to people on. YouTube is definitely a good one to subscribe and like us, and then have the notification bell when we do upload new material. And our YouTube channel actually has all the links to our various podcast platforms that they can go to, and there's several of them that we subscribe to that they can download our episodes and everything. There is one episode that we have that I think people really get a kick out of. Is we got critiqued by a podcast, what is it, critic? Yeah, a podcast critic.
Oh, okay.
And he went at the very beginning of our journey on this podcast. He critiqued us and he just completely shredded us. I mean, he called us names.
It was hilarious, though. I laughed. It was funny.
We didn't take any offense to it. It is very, very hard to offend us, first of all. But we got a ping that he did this, and I was like, okay. And I just couldn't stop. He said some pretty intense things.
You look retarded.
Yeah, we're not going to give you all the details. But he said some pretty. He was 100% honest, and
well, not about you being a retard.
No. His take on us was 100% honest, And when I first started, I was very stiff. I was very monotone. I acted too serious. It wasn't really myself.
To TV.
But we critiqued his critique. And we provided our feedback on his feedback, and we actually adjusted our show, and we became better hosts for it. And I think it definitely led us in a better direction.
Yeah.
Now you have to find the time to record more episodes, but we're working on that end.
That's awesome. That's a hilarious story. Now on Twitter, it's TNWC podcast, right? At TNWC. Yes. Okay. And and so on you've got a channel on YouTube, so folks can just do a search for That's Nice, Who Cares, and find you there. And Facebook, you got a Facebook page. Okay. So
That's Nice, Who Cares.
Awesome. Yep. Awesome. Well, we'll definitely be looking for more episodes, especially now that you're back on schedule. Can't wait to see some more new stuff from you guys.
Yes.
Thanks so much for being with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
You
thank
bet.
you.
You bet.
Bye-bye, lard ass.
Bend and Scoop is a production of Lukewarm Tallboy Studios.